Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Awesome My Life. Love you and cause I love you so much. Oh, 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 I just love you. I just like help. I just like help. I just like you too. I just like you. I just love you. Happy New Year! I love you, say goodbye to going to school, and that's okay. Yum, 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 yum. I just love you.
Now, how can you not love that? That's our special spokesperson from Medford, Minnesota. Her name is Ariana Stanley, and she's the daughter of Andy and Mary Stanley, a board member of the Hope Collection. I'd like to welcome everyone today to the Optimize Your Life, sponsored by the Hope Collection and Golden Rule Society radio show, Blog Radio. And we're thrilled. Today we call it Travel Tuesday. And what's really exciting about this is that, it's towards the beginning of the week, and this week we're, of course, so grateful. This is Thanksgiving, and we have a heart that's just really, we want to just overflow with demonstrating our love and our care for each other, those in our life, and appreciate those who have touched our lives in so many ways. I have the privilege right now to introduce you and bring to the show a gentleman who he and his wife have demonstrated extraordinary leadership in their life. He's from Boston originally. I think Brenda's from Charleston, where they now live, and you see how'd that happen? Well, he'll tell us that story, and there is one. But anyways, what's happened is what Rick has done is he's been a leader everywhere he's been, whether it was in college, where he was a leader in establishing the first Black Engineers Society organization and helping university. I'm not sure which one, if it was Boston or Massachusetts, which one it was, but he organized that. Then he went into the service later after he graduated in plastics. Remember the graduate? Plastics. Anyways, he did that, and then he was in the service, and he became a leader there. In fact, I'll tell the story how he has saved many, many marriages because he put the GPS satellites in office that we now have GPS on our phones. And he's responsible. We're irresponsible for that. But he did save a lot of marriages even today. And so the other thing he did is he got involved, he was led to the industry of travel, which obviously we call today Travel Tuesday. Well, what Rick and Brenda did, whether it was by design, maybe not his design, but I think it was by God's, led him into a program that allows him to change lives, touch lives, and make this a better world. He has that in spades to be able to talk about that. And so that's what we're going to do today. Hi, Rick. How are you today? Rick Reese.
I just love you. Yum, 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 yum. Love her.
I know.
Medfit. You got to say it like Boston. You got to say Medfit, Minnesota.
Medfit, okay.
Minnesota. Medfit.
Oh.
We have a Medfit in Massachusetts. And,
that's right.
Medfit. Yes, a Medfit, Minnesota. And where our star lives. And their star parents. Doing good down here in Charleston. And just enjoying the weather, and it's snow and cold up in Colorado. And
you can say it about
nice
Buffalo today too.
Huh?
You can say it about Buffalo today. It went from nice sunny. We had up until last week about 60, 70 degree weather. Today it could snow. It's that cold out. We woke up to jackhammers this morning. The city decided that we got a leak at our house, a sewer water leak. And so they're tearing up the front of our street and house to be able to fix that problem. And I was out there, I was hanging by my trying to hang up Christmas decorations on our porch and stairways up to the house, and wonderful weather and exciting, and just this time of year. And then I got the tree half decorated already. We're moving along here, just getting ready for celebrating this season. It's such a wonderful, exciting season, and it's a season of giving. And wow, we have this opportunity to give, and we can give the gift of travel and helping open the doors for people to live so exciting lives. And I think what I find about it, Rick, and since you opened the door for Lynn and I was sitting here, by the way, just before you got on the phone. I was reading. Linda made a book of our little trip, our first trip. Kind of like the first time when we got involved with you and Brenda, that you introduced us the ability to own our own money-making machine. And it's not just that, but boy, it sure has made a difference in our life. And we were able to go on a dream trip to Europe. And we went on the Viking River cruise. When I was looking at the page, we were on Rudensheim, a Christmas village on the Rhine River, in the Rhine Valley, where they make the Rhine grapes. They make Riesling, white wine, just sparkling wine. And the people there have got one leg shorter than the other one because they have to climb the mountains, and they're on the side. They're so steep, so the people that pick the grapes, they only can stand straight as they have one leg shorter than the other. And, it's just about the Christmas village. We're so excited to be there. And the whole town dressed and everything. We were there at the end of August, but it was already Christmas time there. And we just had the treat of experiencing the little part of the European tradition of Christmas. And so I'm already in that. Can you tell I'm already in that mode? I'm ready to go decorating the tree. Linda does
I'm
annual
still wondering what happened.
Exchange. Oh, oh yeah, we went. What's your fault, Rick? We never would have got to. I don't know that we ever would have gotten to Europe if it wasn't for you and Brenda. What you did in opening the door.
That is amazing, huh? Jeez, wow, that is amazing. The impact that you have on people's lives that can help them pivot. Is shouldn't be held so close, but it should be shared. Even Ariana, Mary's daughter, and being able to share the opening song, it impacts people's lives. And even at a young age, she was able to share that and impact people. And we know that she does so much more with the kindness campaign that she started. In her what grade is she in? Like 4th, 3rd, and she starts a kindness campaign. And but sometimes people hold so close the things that can impact others. Mm-hmm.
Well, she just, this program that she took, because she was upset because she found out Len Kane's Kindness Club for adults. She said, Mom, can't we have a kindness campaign for club for kids? So she and Len Kane worked it out. Now we have a program that anybody hearing our voices, you can get. We got a package. You get a kit. You can start a kindness club in your church, in your Sunday school, in your school. I mean, it's good. It's not anything. It's not directly religious that somebody would think that it would compromise being a public organization or anything. So it really is good. It helps kids not to be bullies, because if you're busy trying to find ways to be kind to each other, you don't got time to be a bully. You know what? Same thing's true as adults, Rick.
Mm-hmm. It really is. You don't have time to be a bully. I was just thinking the other day, we were just talking about, Brenda is a big dreamer and visualizes, quite a bit. In fact, I'm sure she is the reason that we have movement in our family, because she dreams. And dreaming causes movement. If a person is stagnant, dream and watch the things that unfold as you dream your future, as you visualize your future. And so Brenda, she keeps our family moving forward. And I dream also, but not like her. And she dreams, huh?
I was just clearing my throat because I got so excited. When I think of all the things, it's like when you guys went to Jamaica last year. And, that has, you see the commercials, Jamaica on, and so we have fun with that. But, you experience that. And when you experience that, that just opened up the doors for other people that we relate with or that are looking to do the same thing. That's what I love most about it.
Here's what's interesting. So Brenda goes, we go to Jamaica for Brenda's birthday. And that was May. Back the previous August, 2023, we go to a Jamaica travel agent event in Denver, Colorado. And one of the things that we always are saying now, we win every contest. That's a declaration. We win every contest. If there's a contest, you got to put your name in, put your card in, we win. And so we go to this Jamaica travel agent event, and they're talking about Jamaica. They even had airline tickets. Denver had just opened up to Frontier a direct flight to Jamaica, and so they were giving out $300 vouchers. And not just to Jamaica, but to go anywhere. And so at the end of the event, they do the drawing. And we had put our card in. And Brenda put her card in, I put my card in. And they pull our name. And they're like, yeah! 3 days at the Rio in Jamaica. And this is like last August 2023. And we're like, man, when are we going to get to go? It's not like you just say, okay, drop everything, let's go to Jamaica. And so August 2023, the year is just, end of year 2023, going into 2024. We move in the whole 9 yards into Charleston, and we're still like, wow, when can we use this? It expires, August 2024. It's only good for like a year. And so then all of a sudden, we're dreaming, I'm dreaming, and I'm like, you know what? That would be nice to do something different for Brenda's birthday, is to actually use this voucher that we have, this ticket to Jamaica, to the Rio for 3 days, and just go there for her birthday. And so had to find out the people who gave it to actually activate it. And, you ask yourself, is it even real? And but found the folks, sent them an email. They had to run it through all kinds of folks, and finally came back and said it's approved. And we had picked the dates of her birthday to go, and it was approved. And we went like, wow. There's always a backstory. I'm giving you the backstory that led to that. That we went to a Jamaica travel agent event. Why? Because we're in Search 365. And in every city, they have these travel agent events where vendors come in and they want to teach you about their product. Whether it's, we went to one with Hawaii, and they had different vendors come in, and we actually won the raffle there in Hawaii. Theirs wasn't a trip to Hawaii. But they fed us. It was at one of the best restaurants. They fed us and invited travel agents come in. This is in every city, every major city, where behind the scenes you have travel agents, and you have these vendors that are saying, hey, the only way I can move my product is through these travel agents and letting them know what I do. And so the vendors come and they do their tap dance and say, hey, here's what we do. And they're usually giving out free gifts, and some give out trips. And so, so we went to Jamaica for Brenda's birthday at the Rio Palace. And you talk about a great time, the food, the weather. They actually had a pool foam party. I did pool exercises.
I did those.
And you did that?
I do pool exercise, sure, when I recovered from my knee surgery, and we went in March. Remember, we went on with Cancun, and we were there for our anniversary, and I recovered from my knee surgery. So,
wow. And it's amazing. But you made a decision, And I'm telling you, if a person can dream, dreaming causes movement in your life. Visualizing. What is the future that you visualize for yourself? Believe it or not, that's what you live, like even right now. Your life right now is basically a visualization, manifestation of what you've been thinking about. What you think about, you bring about. And where we are right now, and it's so awesome when you can add another aspect. When you can transform, and I really do believe this, when you can transform your life into play, travel allows you to actually do that, to transform your life into play, where you're not so stiff, you're not so on edge, loosen up, loosen up. And when you can loosen up, go right ahead.
Did you know that there was a study done by American Heart Association that if a person will take a 7-day, I'm not talking 7 days off the job, where you sit home, you go, you get away, you relax, you do exactly what you're saying. You have a 32% chance less of having a heart attack or a stroke. It's a medical thing. Travel opens up the world to health. We're actually healing the nation and nations. There's been so much strife over the last few years. Let's go back the last 4 years, 8 years. The weather, the health, the weather, what's it called, the pandemic. All this stuff has taken people and put them in a position where between each other we create mistrust and everything. And just the word missed, M-I-S. That alone, we've mistaked, we missed out, we missed all those things happened because we weren't free in our hearts and our spirit. And now another person might add, they might add a fourth thing. Well, the reason I miss money. I don't have the money. Well, guess what? Rick, you introduced to Lynn and I a tool. You gave me the chance to slice a tomato like I was doing it instead of a butter knife. That was a job. You helped me use a sharp Ginsu knife to not only cut the tomato sharp, we could get our dreams done. Do you know what happened this morning, just now, Rick? This is a remnant of the first vacation that Lynn and I took when we became members, owners of Surge Opportunity that you introduced us to. We were on the Edie, was the name of the long ship from Viking. We were on the Rhine River. And every morning, the chefs, there was a big spread, and they would, make anything you wanted. But every morning, they made me a fresh pot. They made a big pot full of cream of wheat. I love cream of wheat. Linda made for me this morning. Came in from doing those. It's so cold and windy outside this morning. See, I came in, and she made me a hot bowl of cream of wheat. 50 years I've been married. It's the first time I've ever gotten a hot bowl of cream of wheat.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And it's good.
Wow.
We are just so privileged that we have never too late. And, I'm so grateful because the blessings that we have been given and provided with, and as we look forward to doing more blessings for more people, we found out about this church. It's a small little storefront church not far from us. We know the pastor. We live at 73 Norman. He lives at 73 Vitter, the next street over. And we knew our houses, we can look through the fence and see each other. 7 years. And so a friend of ours from Canada went out to a Christian retreat in July, and they ran into him and Grady and his wife, Takia, and they got talking. They told about us. It took them going to Canada to meet them, to go so we could meet our neighbors. And now we've been helping support his ministry. Our church has a very large food bank, and we served up, last week we delivered 1,200 total, complete turkey Thanksgiving dinners for someone to prepare about everything.
Wow.
Start to finish, corn, vegetable, gravy, stuffing, taters, mashed potatoes, everything you put. And we all people go to our church, and we gave out 1,200. It was like, I think they added it up. It would be 25,000 pounds of food that we delivered last week. Now that food bank is now going to use our way of travel and making money through the Vortex that they're going to support. Our church is going to use it to support our food bank. There'll be a cash stream for our food bank. Well, the Vortex card is a travel discount connection card that gives everybody a private link booking agent. See, the key to being in travel is not to let somebody else book your travel. That can be done, but by you having access directly to the booking. The only way you can do that is to know a company that, like Surge, that allows people to own a program that gives you the Vortex card and access. So when giving that to people that use it, they save money. It's guaranteed they're going to save money. So why wouldn't they know you? Why wouldn't they use it? So they use it. Well, let's say they save $100 on their trip. Maybe they stay for a week in a hotel and they got a car home. Then it's probably up to about $1,500 they saved. Because I can tell you about that. We had a couple go to Hawaii. I'll tell you that in a minute. But anyways, a couple from our church, they go and use it, and they stay in a hotel. They spend the money, but whatever they save, Vortex and Surge is going to match that savings with cash. That we are now dedicated to people. Their money is going to go to the cash savings. It's going to go to support the church. It's stewardship. This is an incredible way of helping the church grow and our ministry to grow their ministry. And so we got that working. And I met with our pastor, and it's so funny. You met him too. I introduced you. We did a Zoom call and introduced him. He loved the concept. So then the other pastor who handles all the operations outside of besides ministry of the church from pulpit, he gave the other pastor, and he came over, and his wife came over and sat down, and they absolutely jumped up and down, and they're not only going to help put it together in our church. She runs the church board, and he's a pastor, but they don't have a retirement. So now they're joining Surge as agents to start their own retirement program for themselves.
That's powerful.
Plus the church is going to we're going to have Res Life Travel, and they're going to be having this given out to everybody, so that when everybody saves money in their travel that they do, and I always tease them. I go, when's the last time someone told you they're going to go on a trip? They always tell you when they just got back. Because they don't want to feel bad, like, I should have booked that money. We need that money for the food bank. They're short. No. This way you can go and still support your money. You can still tithe, automatically tithe that savings to your church, or our church in this case. Wow, how exciting is that? I'm so proud.
I heard a term. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So glad I'm listening to you.
I heard a term the other day on exactly what you're describing, and it's called intentional spending. Intentional spending, of being able to spend your money where you choose, and especially those places that support causes that you believe in. And it's awesome when you can do that in travel, because something that folks don't really get, I don't believe, based on the results that I see currently, and of course that's changing now, but to make a choice to book through Expedia, if you've got, hotel, car, cruise, to book that through Expedia makes Expedia a ton of money. Expedia is not in travel. They're just the in-between connecting the consumer to the travel vendors and getting paid and making billions of dollars. Surge, the Vortex, gives Expedia the boot as the middleman and now puts a link in, like you're saying, a link, a free complimentary link, now that the consumer can say, hey, I'm not going to Expedia because my money only goes one way away from me. I'm going through the Vortex. Why is that? Because the Vortex, if I book that hotel through the Vortex, it goes out and it looks at the public price, which is, by the way, set by Expedia and Priceline. I don't know if you knew this, but they own all the other booking engines out there, and they actually set the public rate working with the hotel. All in cahoots. And it's okay because it's business. But anyhow, so a person says, hey, I got this free, like you said, private link, from the food bank. They gave me a bag of food. At least I can do is use this link and share it with other people. Book the hotel through this free Vortex link. It goes out and it looks at that public price, comes in up to 60% less than that price. They're saving money over the public rate. Whatever is saved. And the great thing about it, it's self-booking. The people book. So there's no work. If you've ever worked a traditional fundraiser, not fun. But this is give a link out. They book through the link. They save 100% of what they save. In this case, comes back to the church and to the food bank program. If they save $50, it comes back. By the way, that's the average savings. If they save $1, it comes back. If they save $100, it comes back. This link is global. Somebody in China on social media may get this link. Someone in England, someone in Africa, someone in India can get this link. They are not perhaps even coming to the United States. But that savings finds its way to Buffalo, New York, the food bank program at your church. That's crazy. So it's a capture tool. The Vortex basically is a revenue generating capture tool that captures a commission that's paid to whomever directs and connects the consumer to the vendor. That's huge because there is no upper limit. So my little thing is, for us, especially with our causes, to garner market share where people are intentionally spending and saying, I'm booking through this Vortex link. Why? It's saving money and also supporting a cause I believe in. That just makes sense, doesn't it?
Oh, my goodness, yes. It's joyful. It's because
joyful.
They don't even think about the fact. There's a lot of people planning travel for the holidays. There's one coming this week, and there's one coming. Bunch of them coming up for the next couple months. And people can book that, and instead of they got to save their money, or they put it on a credit card and they're going to still pay for it. But they don't. If they do it in the normal world, you just do it, and it's an expenditure. What we do is we turn and we take and multiply the value of that money that's been invested to do and have to travel. Might be business, it could be family, it could be business, entertainment. But what it really does, it allows for an organization like a church. In our case, we're doing it for our church, to support a mission that the church is committed to doing. And it's real money. It's not like we did a group a mission trip for fundraising for a group, and we cooked. We had a guy, a professional barbecuer, chicken barbecue. That cream of wheat doesn't go down smooth. Anyways, so we cooked from morning till past dinner time. We were barbecuing chickens and selling them. It was right after COVID, and people would drive up, and they'd pay for the chicken. We did almost 1,200 chickens. Do you know how much 1,200 chickens are? Dinners. You have to put the plate together with the chicken and the salads and the roll. And what else was there, honey? Everything, all the stuff, and then package it up, and then delivered to people who come up, that drive up and, they buy for $5, give me $5, give me $4. And we did that from morning till night on a cold, windy day. And it was right after COVID. People were just starving to go out to dinner. Well, they didn't go out. They just came out to get their dinner and then take it home. But we did that to raise some money for this organization, Christian organization. Never raised a dollar. Other than talking about it, they never did it. But our church has done programs like car washes and, spaghetti dinners and all this stuff, or people would actually stand in the corner and, they hawk candy bars, or they sent kids out. That's like, you don't do that anymore. When you've got a means where we can raise hundreds, if not thousands of dollars through a program that is going to benefit the benefactor, the church, benefit the people that use it, they go on their vacation and do it, and then out of their heart, they have decided, they've chose, you use that word, Rick, intentional. So now, God blesses an intentional heart. You can get blessed and not even know that you're doing it.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's your intention.
So, yeah.
That's
sometimes
true. Well,
someone went on a cruise and they went for a week on a cruise. That money may be more than they ever gave. The money that they save using this might be more than they gave in an entire year. Seriously.
So a conversation would be, well, Pastor, I didn't tell you before I left, but family and I went to Cancun, and we had a fantastic time. That's why we weren't in church on Sunday. But, Pastor, we saved $700 on our trip, booking it through the Vortex. And so I'm proud to say $700 is actually coming into our fund, into the church fund. And last year I wouldn't have told you because all the money was going away from the church. And now it's coming to the church. $300 billion will be spent on holiday travel. $300 billion. When you look at all the needs out here, the community needs, and you think about the Salvation Army, with the kettle.
Yep.
You think about the homeless and the homeless shelters and the people sleeping in tents on the street. You think about all the causes. You think about the different organizations that collect winter clothing and gloves and coats and different things for the cold that people can come in. You think about over 1,200 turkey dinners that the food bank that you have at your church gave out. You think about all of these different causes. You even think about 80 churches a day closing their doors because they don't have the funds. You think about the pastors who are working 2 jobs, 3 jobs because the church can't afford to pay them while people in the church are going on vacations. You think about all of these needs, and I believe we're at that point, not just in America, but globally, to look for business tools. We're just talking travel today, but to look for business tools that transfer wealth and services. The Vortex serves as a business tool that not only transfers wealth through the Vortex online booking, but also provides human capital skills training through the travel agency. While people are looking for jobs, it's amazing how companies will send out pink slips right before Christmas, right before the holidays, laying off workers. And we're talking about how can elderly, the millennials, people who, want to stay home with their, newborns. I mean, just so many folks who don't want to go to college but are looking for a vocational training in a career that makes a difference. And being able to come into Surge 365 through our Travemanity online travel program and have access to the travel industry as a travel advisor, to become a travel advisor, which is the new name for travel agent, and to have access to the IATA card and the CLIA card and all the qualifications and certifications of the industry under the umbrella of Travemanity. But to become, like you mentioned, your next door neighbor across the street there takes a lot of pictures. He's in photography. And to become a wedding destination specialist by being able to take that training, and it's online and it's free. To become a Disney specialist. Some people are fanatical about Disney. How would you like to become a Disney specialist where they send you all the training and you complete the training? You're a Disney specialist. And Ron, you guys are cruise specialists, and you can pick and choose. What area? What is my passion? I want to become, you may have a family that is working with people that have special needs or special abilities, as we would say. Why not become a special needs travel specialist? That's something that you can actually become as a profession with the certification and be qualified. And organizations can do that. We talked to an organization, and we were saying, and they do some kind of massage therapy, and we were saying, just to separate yourself from other companies out there, that you could take this, join Surge, take this training, become a special needs travel specialist, and that will be a significant selling point, distinguishing you from others out there in your same career field. Other companies that are similar, where you're now, hey, this is what we can do. In fact, you can go through all the different certifications that would distinguish you, as by yourself from all the other competitors out there. This is a significant selling point now, and you can advertise that on your website, that we have these qualifications, these certifications. And Ron, you and Mary was talking about neurodivergent travel and being able to specialize in. Wow, that's huge.
Well, it sure is. In fact, Carnival Cruise is one of the cruise companies that they're like pace setters, they're trailblazers. They actually have on board to accommodate the families, be able to take diverse children that have these conditions, able to bring them on the cruise and have them successfully be able to go on the cruise. And they actually enable parents to go on. Before they did this, before they went through, and they've got a whole program. And I got Mary connected, Mary Stanley, who is one of the world's advisors when it comes to neurodivergent children. She's an expert, and she's certified from different countries with the knowledge she has of helping families raise their children and be able to raise them up and helping them to accommodate living like all of us do. It's funny, no one realizes every one of us has to learn how to accommodate to what we're doing. That's what we just have to learn, how to help children that have a neurodivergent problem. We have to help them learn how to adjust, like our parents helped us to adjust to make it to adulthood and everything. So Mary's just a specialist. Well, now we got a cruise company. We have hotels that will accommodate so that families can do things that previously they didn't. Not that they couldn't, but there was nothing there set up for them to help them. And so they didn't bother. It was too much of a workout, too much problem. And so now we've got that resolved. And so that's an exciting thing. That's why, Mary, in fact, in May, we've got a cruise going on the Freedom. Nice name for a ship, huh? We're going on the Carnival Freedom in May, the Turks and Caicos. We actually are going to honor Captain Len Kane for his years of dedication and service, his recognition of being nominated 5 times for a Nobel Peace Prize. And we're hanging out for a week on the cruise. We're going to Turks and Caicos. And so it's so exciting. Oh, by the way, this will be the first time on my cruise, I'm actually getting a scooter. Those scooter riders. Well, I have had two knee surgeries and a stroke will do that to you. But when I reserved it with Yeah, I'm breaking down this time. I'm doing it. They offered me this. I reserved it, and they said, well, do you want to get a commission or do you want us to take it off the price? So I got the commission up front. They just lowered the cost for me to take it.
Wow. Access, Ron. Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Neurodivergent travel. So you and Mary, you know what the cool thing about it is that whatever their passion is, whatever their life circumstances are, whatever their niche is, they can choose. You can choose what area, if any. I mean, some people like me, I don't really like booking travel or working as a travel advisor. I will, because I don't have to actually do it. I just connect people to the vendors and then get paid a commission. But if a person, some people like you guys are good at it. And if a person loves it, they can say, I want to be exclusively a Disney travel agent, or exclusively, you pick. I want to do amusement parks, you know. And so whatever amusement park, I want to be a specialist. And you can create the power of creation. You can create your marketing campaign. You can create da-da-da-da, because Surge Travelmanity gives you access to the industry. Now, I wanted to say before we jumped off neurodivergent travel, anymore, a lot of folks are becoming more aware of people on the spectrum with autism, or attention deficit hyperactivity, or dyslexia, or PTSD, post-traumatic stress, or Tourette syndromes, and there's others. But neurodiversity travel focuses on creating an exclusive and accessible environment that supports the diverse needs of individuals with neurological differences, ensuring that they can enjoy travel experiences with comfort, dignity, and fun. And that is a whole niche that a person can say. I mean, when you look at the industry, and many people are now, of course, are now recognizing, you know, autism, and there's Autism Month. But imagine being able to focus on this as an industry, as a professional. And one thing that was cool about what Mary was saying, who is a professional in this, and she has a company that teaches and counsels and so forth, is this is kind of two-sided. You mentioned Carnival, and what Carnival, as one of the leading cruise companies, is doing to accommodate neurodiversity passengers, neurodivergent passengers. The whole industry needs that. And so a person can actually create a job for themselves, a position for themselves as a consultant to the industry, you know, to the resorts, to the whomever, to the amusement parks. Here's how you service this population that wants to travel, but their needs are not being met. That's huge. See, when people are stuck in whatever vocation, whatever profession, I can't make money, it's by choice. It's by choice, because opportunity abounds and has no limitation. It has no doors of discrimination, no doors of blah, 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 whatever you want to call it. It has no doors. And so when someone looks at a tool like Surge 365, and you've got Black Friday coming up, and they spend, and it's okay because it's holiday seasons, but they spend a lot of money on Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and they forget the gift that keeps on giving, Surge 365, being able to come into the travel business for $500 and have a travel agency access, and have the Wholesale Travel Club membership and the concierge service, and have the Vortex, and have the 7-day vacation stay. All of this under the umbrella that touches every aspect of travel, and launch themselves into an actual career versus a toy or something that is immediate gratification for the season. No. It's all called intentional spending, Ron.
Well, this being the season that it is, we have such an opportunity, and the need is so great. And we'd like to say, I'm thinking that as we share this or we broadcast this show, I got thinking we've actually, since Joel started the whole collection, and we've been now with Captain William Kane, the Golden Rule Society, we have actually broadcast 1,800 shows.
Wow.
We have them archived now, and we're going to pick out some and put them in a that highlight different issues and going back, because of course we've got some with Joel live on these shows that were recorded, and so we're going to be doing that in the near future. That'll be available to pick out on different topics in our archives. But the thing is, I'm thinking of the impact the other day of the messages like we're sharing today that we've done every Tuesday. Rick, if one of us is away or we're traveling, sometimes when both of us are traveling, we have somebody else fill in for us. But, we're always talking about lifting people up and being here. We're like the light on the hill. We're a beacon for people here, and if they're searching, we can be an answer. And, of course, our links are multiple. Our links, if someone needs financial, we got the solution. If it's spiritual, we can connect for the spiritual. If it's physical, we got the physical side of it, too. And relationship, we can resolve or open the doors to be that door opener for people. And that is what we are. It is what we do. We're like an umbrella providing all these programs and services. So they wanted someone's. I've gotten a call. So people call in on the show and say, "Well, I don't have any money. I don't have enough extra money." We can show them how to get it. It's November. Okay, it's near November, but we actually get somebody between now and Christmas. I'm make enough money to pay cash for everything they get for Christmas this year. I mean, there are a lot of people that don't want to go into debt, and they go, "Well, we're not going to have a Christmas this year." Well, guess what? We can help them have one that they earned, and it won't just go one time. It has ways of being residual, or it can open the door for a greater. There are people that I know. Well, it's a fact. There are going to be a whole bunch of people in the next 60 days that are going to lose their income. They get their income from the federal government, unless they are a really needed person in the government. I guarantee you, they're going to find ways to have people get pink slips. What do you say? That's terrible. Well, yes, it is, and no, it isn't. Yes, it is because they're not necessary. But that doesn't mean that they can't go do something else. And what we do is we open the door, and now we help someone become a productive. When you work for the government, you're not producing anything. You're only taking. You may work, but you're not producing anything. What we do is we help people get into production mode. When you get into production mode, you can earn and you can excel and you can achieve and you can share and you can share. The neatest thing I had one company I really loved working for them one time, Rick. And I would have stayed in that job forever if I had found out that there's a bigger world and that job didn't provide me the way to travel. It was back then. It was when I was young. And I was never going to be able to do the travel because I would have had to stay working the money to be able to go, but then I was working so I couldn't go. So I had to find something that let me earn enough money so I could go and travel and not lose what I had. Well, now we've got it today. We have it in our hands. And I believe if you walk down the street and the people you see you knew what you know, they'd jump you. They'd jump you because they want to know what you know. They want to have what you have. And that's really good. That's not bad because guess what? Our job is to do that, to give it away. And every day, every single one of us have an opportunity to do that very thing.
It's true. It's true. Until a person actually comes to the point where they want to get beyond their comfort zone, they never move. They never move until they come to that point of frustration that something has to change, and that forces them almost to say, okay, the change begins with me. I've got to get out of my comfort zone and leave my house and maybe go out not literally, but leave my current situation, open the door, and walk through it. Because before that, it's just nice and cozy, stay in the house. But until a person says something's got to change, what are those things that force people to come to realization that I've got to make a move? You know,
sometimes it's fear, Rick. I hate to say it. Sometimes it's fear. People realize that, but fear, if you don't approach it and overcome it, will take you down. So what we do is we help people. Fear is not, that's normal to have fear, but it's abnormal to keep it. So what we try to help people be not abnormal.
What
overcome
made you change? Well, I know the story kind of where they're like, Ron,
well, number one,
unless you move.
I promised my wife if she'd marry me, I'd take her to those places. Don't go with her girlfriend. She'd never see him again. And, of course, that was a lie. I have to admit it. At the time, I was working part-time in a bar, bouncer, and I worked at a gas station. Now, when she saw me and met me like that, I didn't have the real. She didn't see the decorations on the tree. Those trunk was there. The roots were there of the likeness that was going to happen. That I was going to grow into being the husband, the leader, to make it happen. But, you know, I didn't have those fruits back then, so it was my integrity. It was my conscientious. It was my concern. Oh, that's right. I was absolutely good looking. Hey,
your boy is good looking.
I got cream of wheat today. Rick, I got cream of wheat today. She just got in front of the world. I'm telling you, this is one of the best days of my life.
It's wonderful. Life is wonderful.
Our friends, I know we have friends on the phone.
Life.
We have friends on the phone today, Rick.
Well, here's what made me change. What made me realize I got so frustrated with working in the IT industry for 80 hours a week. Didn't see my kids. When I go to work, they're asleep. I come home, they're asleep. And Brenda would come and drop me off a little lunch. The kids are playing in the back of the car, and I have a little paper bag handed to me out the window. They're getting ready to go to the museum or the park. I'm like, man, I gotta get free. I go back to my desk, no time to even eat my tiny little lunch in a brown paper bag. And it's like, okay, this is 2.5 years of this. And it's like, they're controlling me. I cannot take this control anymore. I gotta do something. And until you come to that point of breaking, you don't do anything. You just put up with it. And that's one of the things that is interesting. People will put up with it and make excuses and accommodations for, the boss and for the situation that they're in, and not realize it's them until they make a decision, until they change, until they say, I'm mad as heck, I'm not taking it no more. Right? Yeah. What's that movie they yell out the window? Newsday or something. And but until they say something, they do something. Like Country Boy says, do something. Until they do something, I don't care if you're from Yale or jail or da-da-da-da, but like Country Boy says. But until they make a decision, nothing happens until they're forced. And so I wanted to make a decision before I knew I would be forced to make a decision on my terms. And so I let the boss go. I let the boss go in February 2005. And I haven't gone back to another boss, except for Brenda. But she's a good one.
Yeah, well, it's good to have that. That's right. Well, she makes you look good. Rick, I'll share with you.
I married up.
Yeah.
Ron, you married
remember when we got married. I didn't pursue the route of my education because most of the companies that would have been in that area all went under. I was in the what would have been the steel industry or metal industry, and I went to college for metallurgy. That and $5 or $6 will buy a cup of coffee today. But anyways, the education, I went into retail management, and I climbed. There's even a ladder you can climb in retail management. You start a little company. I started one company, and went to a bigger one. The guy, my neighbor, was a J.C. Penney manager, and that was really, oh boy, I thought it was going to be great. I went to work for them, and you said 80 hours. Guess what? It was 80 hours a week. Got paid every other week. It's tough to live like that. And I remember that we worked out one day that I figured out I was working for $1.50 an hour. Now, even today, that's not good. Back then, it wasn't even anything. But anyways, we were working one time at Christmas, and I ran a toy department. And we were unloading truckloads. We became so popular. We became so good. No reasons for that. We put a toy store in the mall out of business. We built a big corporation at a J.C. Penney. And I had my name in light and all over the company for what we were doing, all that stuff. And then I got interviewed after Christmas by a newspaper my wife worked for. She was at her secretary, and they said, well, did you have a good Christmas? And I said, yeah, we did. We sold out all this and that. And I just said general stuff, but it got printed in the paper, and the manager said, hey, who authorized you to tell the community about this? I didn't give any customer secrets away, but he didn't like it, and guess what? They escorted me out of the door. They wouldn't let me go to my desk, get my keys, empty my desk out. They escorted me to the door because I didn't have the rights to say anything about how the company was doing. Well, guess what? I wasn't real anxious about working for a job when they did that. And my dad got a letter when he was in the hospital on his back in Veterans Hospital, and the corporation said, we replaced you. He was a paymaster, and they went automated. And he lost his job. When that did it, my dad had a stroke and died. I vehemently, adamantly said, someday, some way, I will never be in that position where a company will be able to give me and my wife a letter that says I don't have my income or my life because of what I was dependent on them. I swore that. I remember standing and looking out the window at Veterans Hospital on Bailey Avenue, Buffalo, New York. I'm going to find a way. And, I believe there's other people that reach that point in their life where you say, I've had enough. I had enough. I'm ready to find. And I started looking. And for a long time, I got to tell you something, I wasn't very successful. I tried all kinds of stuff and ways. I can't tell you some of the things I did. Some I never told Linda what I was trying to do. Got nothing illegal, but I was trying to find a way. And you know what? I believe anybody that has that kind of spirit automatically is attracted to what we're doing.
It's true. It's true. Because you got to do something. And that's a decision that you now come to. And one thing that's cool about Surge is there's 32 income streams you can actually choose. I like building an organization that works on behalf of the industry to move travel services to market. But you can also become a professional travel advisor. There's just so many areas that you can choose from that can generate income. I just love how you and Linda set up trips for people and then get paid a commission for it. That's a living. People in travel management make thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars on the travel side of the business. And so it's not just building a team, as some people would say, oh, yeah, you got to build a team, sponsor people. That's one part of it, and those $1,000 bonuses and $10,000 bonuses are good. But it's a vocation. There's so many different ways. Or a person can say, like Brenda and I, for the first year, I just want to travel. I don't want to tell anybody about nothing. I want to travel wholesale instead of retail, write it off on my taxes, and get paid to go. Now you got to talk to your professional, tax professional, if you're going to write it off. But that's what we did for a year. Then, Ron, they started pulling it out of us. Back to you.
Well, Rick, Well, I know Country Boy, you've been quiet today, but I'm glad we were able to share with you. Hopefully it'll help motivate you to move you to stick out your hand and bring someone else aboard. Rick, we're coming to the end of the show. I want to thank you. We've had an incredible run this year, and we got more to come. More blessings are coming our way.
Amen.
Look forward to doing that and sharing that. I hope the Thanksgiving for you and your family and Country Boy is wonderful. I hope you have people put their arms around you and just thank you. And then you do the same thing to somebody else. And that will make this a great Thanksgiving. Thank you. Bye now.